back into the potty. We're going to do a bit of a footy one, pre-season, probably talk a bit of off-season and whatnot as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet, straight into it. What was your mindset going into a pre-season? Excited, nervous, ready, unready, mistakes?
Bro, I was pretty bad back in the day.
Same.
You know, I was probably the most unprofessional young fella coming through. And I can only speak from now too, bro. Like, I'm living with my niece and her partner at the moment, whilst being down here, and he's just so many more levels of professionalism than I was. So yeah, I was always pretty nervous. I think my first time doing a full-time pre-season was probably the most nervous.
Roosters?
And yeah, I was not prepared at all. I didn't know what I was going into. I didn't know what testing was. I didn't know pretty much what I was going to go and do. So it was all relatively new. But even that being said, 10 years down the track, I still wasn't doing the right things.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's probably the difference between sort of back nowadays and then now, the professionalism of everyone. Like, everyone knows how to train and what to do.
Yep.
Whereas there, I don't know. I don't know. There was no information around, I guess. Like, we didn't have YouTube, no social medias really.
No accountability for ourselves, really.
Yeah. And just went, I don't know. There was no one to learn off if you didn't have someone like in a mentor type role. You know, I felt like I probably needed that, and just being told what to do, or this is expectations of what you need to be doing in the off season and coming. I never had a good preseason at the start.
I don't think you ever did. Like, I don't think, besides South, but even with South Sydney, bro, my last year of NRL, like, I was going in there shit house. Finished with Redcliffe. I got injured, had surgery, and then I went in there overweight, underprepared, into like the hardest preseason of my life.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't give myself every opportunity, but I made sure during preseason I was going hard. So
Yeah, so you still needed a break, but then we just sort of took a big break, if that's... Yeah, we just had a break, like nothing. I didn't even train during off seasons and whatnot. So I guess when we caught up with Bailey Hayward from the Dogs, he had a good break. He went overseas and then he came back, and now he knows he's got like, what did he say? I think he did like Monday running, Wednesday swimming, Friday running, Saturday.
2 runs a week, eh?
Group session, and he probably just added and chucking some weights in between, and that's perfect. That's all you need to do. Like, you don't have to do too much, but yeah.
Even he said that it's just all about like maintaining or looking after myself and refreshing myself. You know, he went overseas for a little bit, I think he said.
Yep.
And he came back and pretty much just got straight back into a little bit of training, not just nothing.
Yeah.
Which is always good to hear.
Yep.
Especially like we said too, bro. Like, the professionalism's changed, and when I said accountability before, a lot of these young guys, because there's social media, they're able to, like, you know, sort of push themselves out on social media during this time. You know, showing people what they're doing. You know, I'm down doing a session or catching up with Troy or doing this. Whereas our days, like, we had none of that. It was just, I'm going down to the Coogee Bay.
Yeah, going out. Let's go something like enjoying the like Sydney summer and the scene.
Yeah.
Too much in the scene. But now we'll go into our next question, which is pretty much, how would you prepare before preseason if you had it all over again?
Pretty much what we coach, bro. I think more along the mobility side.
Yep.
Later on in the years, I think if you're new going into preseason, like I said, I can draw back to the young fella. It's just fitness. Like, if you can get yourself relatively fit going into preseason, get a decent score in preseason, you know, to test yourself, and then during that Christmas or just before Christmas, you're finishing your firing rather than you're trying to catch up like what I did.
And there's probably different levels depending on if you're going into a new team, if you're a fringe player, if you're like a veteran. There's sort of those different things. If you've played a big rep season with some of the, say, the Kiwis and the pros, and then the guys that are, I don't know, you might be going into a new club, sort of train and trial or something. You need to sort of hit the first week running. You don't want to get to the first session and you're at the back of the pack already, and the coach is like, oh.
There's nothing worse, bro. Like, we've just signed this guy from, you know, I don't know, Parramatta or some shit, and he goes over to the team, and you're like, but this guy's rat's ass.
Yeah.
He's overweight. It's not training hard enough, you know. And even if Bro, it used to be the worst when you're a back rower and they'd sign a back rower and he is just rat's ass coming to your club, but you know that they're probably going to pick him next year.
Yeah.
Which is the worst. But if you're new and you're going to that club, it's important to put your best foot forward.
Yeah.
And I think, the biggest marker is conditioning, because that's what you want to get out of pre-season. So if you can go into that club or wherever you are with at least a good sort of like test score to start off with, then it's always going to look good for you.
Yeah, you got to get your foot in the door, get ahead of the coaches, and keep everyone happy. Biggest mistakes players make during preseason?
Recovery, I think, is a big one.
Yep.
They don't look after themselves, so they'll finish sessions. I was like this, finish sessions and don't do ice bars, stretching, even massage tables. Like I never utilised all the things that I had.
Yep.
So I think that's the biggest one that people miss out on because it's a low hanging fruit. A lot of guys just want to get out of there straight away.
Yeah, and we're probably speaking from pro level down, so like different levels. The pros get looked after with their ice baths and recovery, and then sort of you got the cup, and then you got the 20s, and you got everyone else sort of battling for positions. But yeah, even getting in your mobility work, so you're prepared for the next hard session because you're doing back to back hard sessions. Maybe you got to go to work as well. So it's sort of just trying to keep your body right and doing what you can. Right.
Yep. And then on top of that is like your food, bro. Like you don't realise how much energy you're using, and if you're not eating enough, which I think a lot of the problem is, people like undereat, bro. They're burning that many calories during training sessions. They're training for 4 to 5 hours in a day, but they're only like eating fucking nothing. Or they could be overeating and not getting the results that they want from it too.
And then just quality of food as well. Like
quality, yeah.
Just not like fast food and shit.
Just
like
loading up on straight alcohol and Maccas.
Yeah. I think everyone's a bit more professional these days and knows what to eat and look after themselves. They got skin folds and whatnot. So, we didn't have that back in our day.
No.
It was just do your best.
Do your best.
Whoever wins.
If you look fat, you're in the fat squad. There was no real like testing and all that sort of shit. So it's good. It's good these days.
Do you know who had mad skin folds? Sam Perrott. I always remember he had the best skin folds.
Him,
ripped as.
Minicello. They were always ripped all year round.
And
fit as fuck.
Always leading in.
Always.
Sam Perrott's probably like the best person to look at what he did, right?
Yeah. He was ahead of the game.
Great dude.
Yeah, great dude. And he was talking like, this is like left field, but he was talking like goal setting and affirmations before games and visualization. Fucking 2008, bro.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, whatever, Sammy. I don't want to hear that shit, bro.
Yeah.
But he was right, man. Like he was doing the stuff that was ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Because that's all the good guys are doing now.
Yeah. So what separates a good preseason from a great one? Have you had a great one and have you had a bad one?
Yeah, like for me, it was season. Like, how do I measure it? How did I go during the season? Especially at the start of it. Yeah. And, I've said this story heaps of times, bro, and I said this to the young fella the other week. The best preseason that I ever did was with South, which is my last preseason. And why? Because I literally eliminated everything for 3 to 4 months and focused solely on training and keeping myself right.
Yep.
And then I look at my season, I played NRL again, bro. Like what's the best measure that you can get that?
Yeah.
So, but even if you're not in that system, like, how can you measure? I feel like there's 2 ways. There's, your testing. How do you go after, pre-season's finished? And then how does, even though your first trial games are going to be shit anyway, but, how fit you in those games? How do you feel during those games is a good measure as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking back of what I knew about just sort of training, looking after the body, diet, from then to now is like, wow, I got so much information that I know that I could have applied back then. And sort of probably why I got into coaching to begin with, to just figure that out. Back then, I didn't even know what rep schemes to use. I didn't know 5 reps might have been a bit better for strength or volume training. I just didn't know anything. So it was sort of the times of the day, and there's a lot more information that you can draw on now, and a lot of coaches out there that you can, get privates. That's something that I would have just done a bit more of, sort of get a bit of knowledge from all the good coaches out there. Because there's heaps of good coaches now. Like it's S&C's like huge now. There's one in every suburb. There's a lot of the footy clinics now, or the things that kids can go to. There's a lot of pro coaches. Say, I don't know, you want to go with Roger to do sprinting, stuff like that. You know, there's always people you can reach. You can come to us for mobility or knees and stuff like that. So it's good. I like that. There's a lot of coaches out there that you can go to.
And they all help. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like they haven't been doing it for a while too. Like, Roger's been around since I was a young pup. Yeah. You know what I mean? And the stuff that we're doing, we've been doing this for like 5 to 6 years now. Yeah. Especially with a lot of guys that are playing any sport, let alone footy. Yep. So yeah, it's all in the name of getting you at the best that you can be after a pre-season and for a season as well.
Yep. How do you handle the volume and intensity early on?
Bro, like we said before, recovery and all that sort of shit.
Sometimes you just can't, you just got to deal with it.
Yeah, bro, like that last season, I was fucked. There were times where I could not walk, and I'd be just pumping anti-inflammatories just to get through sessions and trial games. You know what I mean? But yeah, trying to stay on top of your sleep, that's the best one. You know, making sure life outside of football is all clean. You know, there's no bills that you have to pay, and you know your kids are sweet and your missus is sweet, and if that stuff's all sorted, then you know you can sort of look after yourself during that time. But you know, there's going to be so much volume thrown at you. Sometimes it's just hold on for dear life.
It's like those back-to-back hard sessions. Like you get that first week and your body's just aching. It's hot days, long days. You're tired. Yeah, so just like recovery, sleep, all those things are super important for like the young guys coming into their first or even second, like big pre-seasons.
And it hardens your mind too, bro. Like a lot of these, like think about it, man. You filter out the shit. Pre-seasons are made to filter because you filter out and you can see which guys are made of the cloth and which guys aren't, because there's plenty that aren't as well. And then like you're doing a pre-season, if you're going into an army camp just before Christmas break, that is hard work. And then on top of that, wrestle sessions for 3 hours. You just like, when Bailey said the other day, he's like, oh, wrestling at Smeaton Grange with at Robert Whittaker's gym. I was like, fuck, that would be torture. Yeah. Those wrestle sessions are hard as fuck these days.
I'm glad I was at back because the forwards looked like 10 times the intensity than fucking the backs when I used to do it. So it was fucking, I don't know, I used to see some of those forward sessions and they're just...
South, bro, we had like Sam Burgess, the Burgess boys. They were fucking all taller than me, bigger than me, bro. I was like, fuck, man. It's like literally like wrestling gorillas. Yeah. It's fucked.
Did you have to do like leapfrogs and unders and overs and shit like that to fatigue? Fuck, I used to do heaps of that. It used to kill me.
It wasn't like there weren't too many like conditioning stuff. It was just reps, contact, heaps of contact. It's like, you know, on the ball, 1-on-1s, and then you go 2-on-1s, and then you'd go like small scrimmages. So we just go at each other, but just in groups of like 4 or 5 against 4 or 5. And then at the end was that shark tank, which is 5 people in the middle, and then who's got the ball? We've got the ball, and they've got to wrestle you to the ground. Oh no, it's just underhooks. As soon as you get double underhooks, and you're the guy in the middle, then you're out, and then you come back in. I think it's like 3 or 4 in a row. Bro, just send you into a fucking, just like this the whole time. I'm so tired.
And just close contact straight into each other too.
Just banging, bro. And no one is like pulling back because Michael Maguire is sitting right there with Anthony Seibold and they're just staring at every forward, go, who are we going to pick for NRL next year?
Yeah, 100%.
Me.
What's one part of your game you'd be focused on if you had your time over again?
Footy IQ and talking to coaches.
Yep.
Learning the game better. I think I knew the game in here, and you know I speak about it fluently now, but I think I was unconfident back then to speak about the game, 1, and then 2, to go and seek help from coaches. That's a big one that people can do during the season. It doesn't matter what level you are too. If you can have a conversation with your coach and say these words, how can I get the best out of myself during pre-season, and what are you looking for from me or my position during the season? And just do that weekly.
Yeah. Mine would just probably be just fitness to start. Mm-hmm. When I'm fit, I'm sweet. When I'm unfit, I'm horrible. Just like when you're unfit, you're tired, decision-making's gone and all that, and just sort of managing the body day to day through preseason, but then also leading through that Christmas break, coming back fit after Christmas break, and then that sort of training block leading into trial sort of flows on effect from all those things, right? Like you got to get it right.
I think that's a good point too, bro. The Christmas break.
I've
How many
never got
people
the Christmas
exactly
break-
right? How many
break
people do
right.
we know that fucked up the Christmas break? Like they come back and they're just shithouse.
Yeah.
If you can go away for Christmas and focus just on your training, like you can do whatever you want. We're not saying fucking stay off the piss and don't see your family or don't travel or anything like that. But if you can, like stay on top of your conditioning, what you just said. If you can stay on top of that and just be good by the time you come back, then fuck, you're gonna be steps ahead of everyone else in your team.
100%. That ruined my last chance at NRL. Fucked up the Christmas break.
Come back.
Went and drank and partied. Didn't even train. How dumb was that? I just thinking how stupid I was back then. But like when you don't know, you don't know, right? And that was the thing. If I knew what I knew now, then it'd be a lot better. And then I came back. We had the Para Park run. I was sick. I got sick, the real badly sick. And then I should have just pulled out. I actually should have pulled out, but I was not confident to speak to coaches. And I just thought, just do it. Got lapped by the forwards on the Para Park run. I think they started 5 minutes after us. I remember Hozza, Savvy, keep going. And I was going, fuck, I'm dead. I'm dying, bro. And they fucking passed me and I was like, fuck. And that was downhill from there.
You just got to nail the Christmas break, man.
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to fight for a position.
Yeah.
Like if you're one of the old school cats and you've been there for a while, fuck it, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've got reps underneath it. But if you're young and you're trying to make something of yourself, then you need to come back better than when you left.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? Like you need to train during the Christmas break. You know, if it means you staying off the piss so you can train better, then do that.
Yeah.
But if you can train and do what you need to do, then why not?
Yep. How do you stay motivated through the tough sessions when you're just cooked and sore?
Depends what position you are too. Like we've been saying, if you're an old school fella, staying motivated is just like pushing the young guys. But if you're one of those young guys, you should be like fighting to get the position. That's motivation. Like if you're trying to play NRL, there's nothing more unmotivating or motivating than that.
Yep.
And if it doesn't push you to get yourself out of comfort zones, then you're not made for it.
Yeah, that's sort of the thing. You don't have a choice, and then if it's not working, then you sort of filters all the people out. That makes sense. Yeah, that's how I feel preseason does. Like the coach is always looking your scores, your test scores, footy work leading into sort of the trial games, right?
That's like people don't realise that preseason sort of sets you up for the start of the season. And then the start of the season, footy actually filters out again because those guys who went good in preseason, they could be cake during the fucking footy season. But how many guys do we know look like Tarzan play like Jane?
Yeah, 100%.
And they go mad as fucking beep tests and shit. I was never that person during preseason, but as soon as the season started, I started playing good and everyone's like, oh, no one cares. But if you're trying to fight, like getting into that first game is the most important thing. So no one's going to be able to see you if you're fucking 3-string hooker. They want to see you play on that first game. So that's where it's important to have a good preseason.
Yeah, that's super important. If you're like the third string, you know the order of things. You can't be like rat's ass in training. You have to be winning everything. Or not winning everything, but you got to be up the top if you're a third stringer. If you're first string, you're good. First stringers are still going to be up there no matter what.
You got to be sweating them, bro.
Yeah.
Like they have to feel you. Like, oh shit, this guy's fucking with me in the fitness. Especially the old school cats. They know. Like everyone knows. And if you're sweating them, and if your skills are getting better, and you're always talking to the coach and shit, I reckon it just lifts up the not the intensity, but it lifts up the standard of football too. Like you're pushing the nines to be better as well.
Yep.
If you're that third string nine that's trying to get better, then fucking go hard.
Yep. This is a good one. Do you think preseason is more physical or mental?
Mental, always.
Yep.
The physical will fucking feel it, but will you stop? It's just like, fuck, it's like doing, what's the name? Navy SEALs.
Yeah.
It's like doing that, bro. Like you hear the stories, people ring the bell. That's what preseason is. Not as fucking intense and hard, but You know, if you call it, then you're not made for it.
Yep.
Not made for footy.
Sort of the coaches sort of want to see if you're going to break. Like if you break in pre-season or something, like rat's ass, then in a game when you sort of need to make that tackle, are you going to make it? Probably not. Yeah, so if you got that little oomph. Because defense is super important, right?
Yeah.
When you're fatigued, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Play worse at D.
And defense, as we know, is just like all in the noggin.
Yep.
It's like all mental, man. You know, if you've got the attitude to turn up for your teammates during pre-season, you're going to do that shit during the game as well.
Last one. If you could give one tip to younger players heading into pre-season, what would it be?
Get fucking fit. Just get fit going into pre-season. I said this to Jacob the other day. Bro, get your weight down and just go fit into it.
Yep.
Just so everyone looks at you. You know, it's hard not to look at someone when they're fucking smashing a Bronco test. You know what I mean? And everyone notices it. And then from there, it just cascades into every other thing in the preseason. So get fit before it.
Yeah, mine would be, do everything that you can. Everything possible. Train hard, do your weights hard, recover hard, eat well, sleep well. Put everything aside because you've only got a small window of opportunity to make it.
Cars.
That's it.
Goosebumps, bro. Goosebumps, cuzzy.
Finish on that?
Yeah,
Shop it.